Hello everybody. Let me to introduce myself. I'm Mr. Partha Banerjee. I'm working as an assistant professor, Department of History, Ashannagar Madan Mohan Tarkalankar College, Ashannagar, Nodia, West Bengal. I'm very thankful to UGC HRDC AMU for providing me such a great opportunity to present a teacher's presentation session. In this session, today, we are going to discuss about a very important topic of Mughal Indian history. And the topic name is Mansabdari system. Mansabdari system was an administrative system which was introduced by Mughal Emperor Akbar. Now the question is, why Akbar introduced the Mansabdari system and what was the framework of this system? The thing is that the Emperor Akbar would not have been able to expand his empire and maintain his hold over it without a strong army. So for this purpose, it was necessary for him to organize the nobility as well as his army. Akbar realized both these objectives by means of the Mansabdari system. Under the system, every officer was assigned a rank which called Mansab. The lowest rank was 10 and the highest rank was 5,000. For the nobles, princes of the blood received higher Mansabs. Towards the ends of Akbar regime, the highest rank a noble could attain was raised from 5,000 to 7,000. And two premier nobles of the emperor, Mirza Aziz Koka and Raja Man Singh, were honored with the rank of 7,000 each. This limit was retained basically till the end of Aurangzeb's reign. The Mansabdari system under Akbar developed gradually. At first, there was only one rank, Mansab. From the 14th year, the rank were divided into two. One is Jat and another is Sawar. The word Jat means personal. It fixed the personal status of a person and also the salary due to him. The Sawar rank indicated the number of cavalrymen, Sawars, a person were required to maintain. A person who was required to maintain as many Sawars as his Jat rank was placed in the first category of that rank. If he maintained half or more, if he maintained half or more, then in the second category, and if he maintained less than half in the third category. Thus, there were three categories in every rank. Great care was taken to ensure that the Sawars recruited by the nobles were experienced and well mounted. For this purpose, a descriptive roles, chehra or chegra, of the soldier was maintained and his horse was branded with the imperial marks. This is called dag. This was called the dag system. Every noble had to bring his contingent for periodic inspection before person appointed by the emperor for the purpose. The horses were carefully inspected and only good quality horses of Arabic and Iraqi breed were employed. Ideally, for every 10 cavalrymen, the Mansabdar had to maintain 20 horses. This was so because horses had to be rested while on march and replacements were necessary in time of war. A Sawar with only one horse was considered to be only half a Sawar. The Mughals' cavalry force remained an efficient one as long as the 10 to 20 rules was adhered to. Provision was made that the contingents of the nobles should be mixed ones, that is drawn from all the group Mughal, Pathan, Hindustani and Rajputs. Thus, Akbar tried to weaken the forces of tribalism and parochialism. Only the Mughal and Rajput nobles were allowed to have contingents exclusively of Mughals or Rajputs, but in course of time, mixed contingents become the general rule. Apart from cavalrymen, bowmen, musketeers, sappers, and miners were also recruited in the contingents. The salaries varied. The average salary of a sawar was 20 rupees per month. Iranis and Turanis nobles received a higher salary than Rajput and Hindustani Muslims. An infantryman received about 3 rupees per month. The salary due to the soldiers was added to the salary of the Mansabdars, who was paid by assigning to him a jaigir. Sometimes the Mansabdars were paid in cash. It is wrong to think that Akbar did not like the jaigir system and tried to do away with it, but failed as it was too deeply entrenched. A jaigir did not confer an hereditary rights of the holder or disturb any of the existing rights in the area. It only meant that the land revenue due to the state was to be paid to the jagirdar. The Mansabdari system as it developed under the Mughals was a distinctive and unique system which did not have any exact parallel outside India. The origins of the Mansabdari system can perhaps be traced back to the Genghis Khan, who organized his army on a decimal basis, the lowest unit of command being 10 and the highest 10,000. Those commander was called Khan. The Mongol system influenced to some extent the military system of the Delhi Sultanate, for we hear of commander of 100 which called Sadis and 1000 which called Hazars. Under the suits we have nobles who were designed commanders of 20,000 or 10,000 or 5,000 sawars, but we do not quite know the system which was prevalent under Babur and Humayun. Persons holding ranks below 500 jats were called Mansabdars. Those from 500 to below 2,500 were called Amirs, and those holding ranks of 2,500 and above were called Amir-e-Umda or Amir-e-Azam. However, the word Mansabdar is sometimes used for all the three categories. Apart from status, this classification had a significance. An Amir or an Amir-e-Umda could have another Amir or Mansabdar served under him, but a Mansabdar could not do so. Thus, a person with a rank of 5,000 could have under him a Mansabdar up to a rank of 400 jats, and so on. The categories were not rigid. Persons were generally appointed at a low mansab and gradually promoted depending upon their merits and the favor of the emperor. A person could also be demoted as a mark of punishment. Thus, there was only one service including both army men and civilians. Peoples who entered service at the lower level of the ladder could hope to rise to the position of an Amir or even Amiri-Umda. To the extent careers were thrown open to talent. In addition of meeting his personal expenses, the Mansabdar had to maintain out of his salary a stipulated quota of horses, elephants, beasts, a burden, and carts. Thus, a Mansabdar holding a Jat rank of 5,000 had to maintain 340 horses, 100 elephants, and 400 camels, 100 mules, and 160 carts. Later, these were maintained centrally, but the Mansabdar had to pay for them out of his salary. The horses were classified into 6 categories and the elephants into 5 categories according to quality. The number and the quality of horses and elephants being carefully prescribed. This was so because horses and elephants of high breed were greatly prized and were considered indispensable for an efficient military machine. Cavalry and elephant, in fact, formed the main basis of the army in those days. Through the artillery was rapidly becoming more important. The transport corps was vital for making the army more mobile. So, at the end of our lecture, we can sum up. For meeting of this expensive, the Mughal Mansabdars were paid handsomely. A Mansabdar with a rank of 5,000 could get a salary of 30,000 per month. A Mansabdar of 3,000 rank could get a salary 17,000 per month, and a Mansabdar with 1,000 rank could get a salary near 8,200 per month. Even a humble Sadi holding a rank of 100 Mansabdar could get 7,000 per year. Roughly a quarter of these salaries were spent on meeting the cost of the transport crops. Even then, Mughal Mansabdars formed the highest paid service in the world. Thank you very much for listening my lecture. Thank you all of you. Thanks.